So it's February 9th, 2024, and we are hooking the fiber to the house. So they were here earlier and they hooked the box up, and we talked about what we were doing. I had already started digging the trench because originally they wanted to just lay it on the ground because they thought the ground would be frozen, which I agreed, but then when I tested it this morning, it really wasn't frozen. We've had a couple really nice days, a break in the weather. So they brought the fiber from down the road. They brought one line over and then down. They did that the other day, and then they came back because I wasn't sure what we wanted to do. So fortunately the ground was easy to dig. I think because the frost is going out right now, it was moist, and normally this ground is super hard. So I think we were very fortunate. Just the timing was just right. So I didn't want them to have to come back, so they strung it up along where I was going with the trench and hooked up the box. And Lucas and I have decided that we've gone as deep as we're going to go. Technically, you really don't have to go deep. They originally said they would go 10 inches. This is more like 6 or 8 inches. But it's an area where we just walk. We're not going to be doing anything here. If we did a garden, it would be over here, which that didn't work out very well. So we're ready to start burying it. So it goes down through here. Then we're going into the driveway. This was hard digging here because this is just a dry, hard area. And then down in here, wasn't bad, but then it got a little hard down below. But there's quite a bit of backfill here. I had put a lot of stuff in, so this wasn't hard. And then here we just had a couple of roots and some stones to deal with. So it's going to go to that corner post there, and then it goes up. We're going to staple it to the underside of the floor joist, the porch floor joist. So right now it's not stapled up because whatever slack I have after we bury it, I'm going to just kind of coil in there, kind of go maybe sideways a little bit and back and then over. So it's going to, originally I wanted to run it through the foam conduit, but this wire is stiff. It's not going to make a 90 degree. I would not feel comfortable doing that. It's a heavy protected, there's 2 strands of fiber in there, fiber optic. And I remember years ago when Corning announced this breakthrough they had and how it was going to be transferring data and everything, and I think it was before the internet was even around, if I remember correctly. But we can check that fact later. But irregardless, it's been, here we are, and now it's happening at a residential level. So here's where the phone line went in. So I plan on pulling that, and then they'll run in probably right into that same hole is what I'm thinking. And so it's a 2-part hookup, or 3-part really. First they run into they get the fiber hanging in the post, the main lines, and then part 2 is they bring it to the house, to the box, and there's 2 filaments in this wire, a blue and a red, and I guess they always hook the blue up first. The red is, I don't know, for later on if you need it. But one will handle like a tremendous amount. He was thinking 10 gigs up and down at the same time, so that's really cool. Or something like that. It's huge. But you have to have the right equipment on the other end to do it. So from here it'll run into the house, into another box, which will be the Wi-Fi. At least that's what I'm calling it. Okay, so we're ready to start burying, and Lucas is going to help me. One will just hold it down. We want to hold it down to the bottom. We tried to get any sharp stones out, but it is a heavy-duty wire, so it's a direct burial. So let's get it in there, and they were going to leave it on the ground and come back in the spring, but I'm really feeling good about this, getting it all done. and in the ground, and that's one less thing in the spring I'm going to be thinking about, because we got lots of other projects. Okay, let's get it buried. Plus, this way I can bring in more crushed stone for the driveway at any point. Although I would like to add more to the top there, so from our big dig, but that's another project. Okay, let's get it buried.